Howdy, I'm Zast, and today we'll be taking a look at an obscure title. Get it? Because you know the game is obscure and literally called obscure? Alright, that was a bad one. Anyways, we'll be looking at the cooperative survival horror game ObsCure, developed by Hydrovision Entertainment and published by Dreamcatcher Interactive here in North America. Released on April 6, 2005 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. Two middle-of-the-road review scores ranging in the 60s and 70s. From the winding corridors of the basement and stereotypical characters to the clumsy combat and wonky camera control, does ObsCure hold up as a cult classic in the survival horror genre? Well, let's find out. So sit down, shut up, Naruto, put away your damn CD player, class is in session, and your lesson is about to begin. The story in this game is very simple, but honestly quite enjoyable. You're just a group of high school students that got locked in after hours when investigating the recent disappearance of their friend Kenny, eventually uncovering a conspiracy involving the unnaturally old principal and nurse revolving around a rare African plant called morphelia, and their search for a source to live forever. Oh, and the fact that their fucked up experiments may or may not have caused the test subjects to turn into grotesque photosensitive monsters that we kinda have to deal with throughout the game. Of course, there's more to the story than that, wee little twist that you can see coming from miles away, but we don't have time for that. This isn't a retrospective video now, is it? Albeit very short, and I mean like 2 to 3 hours short if you know what you're doing, the story, as stated before, is enjoyable. The characters, on the other hand, though, aren't that enjoyable. They are typical stereotypes like Kenny the Jock or Stan the Stoner. It brings down the experience a bit since there really isn't anything unique about these characters. Granted, their actions between one another is very much like an actual group of friends, which is a nice touch. Being a game from 2004, it looks pretty good. The environments are nicely detailed, the school campus is gloomy and atmospheric, the empty halls are also a bit unsettling. The basement tunnels are winding, dark, and moist, but they are repetitive, making it easy to get lost. Thankfully, we do have a Silent Hill-esque map to mitigate that. Oh yeah, we also have functioning mirrors, which is pretty damn cool. The character models and designs are just like the characters themselves. They're kinda generic looking. Josh looks like an AV nerd, Shannon looks like a floozy blonde, Stan is your typical skater look-alike. You get the point. They're generic and simple. Kinda makes sense though, since this is a game based in modern times at the time, but at least they have alternate costumes when you beat the game. The monster designs are freaking awesome. The texture work and animations of these grotesque creatures really sell that I should be running and not trying to take them on. Especially these big ass dudes that for some reason remind me of mind flayers from D&D that by the way can insta kill you if you get too close. Or you know, these little bastards like to hang around on the ceiling and choke you like you have daddy issues. Don't worry, we'll get the gameplay in a second, but overall this game just looks good for the time. There's definitely some things that could have been improved upon, but it's nothing too detrimental though to the overall experience. ObsCure is not only a single player story, but a completely cooperative one. If you have a crazy enough friend to join you, that is. Honestly, it makes this game a lot more bearable, but it makes dealing with the camera a pain as you can run off camera and die horribly, because it only follows one player at a time. Granted, with the press of a button, you can snap the camera to focus on you. It's irritating to deal with, especially in the entire corridors the game offers. This game also features a very basic crafting system allowing you to combine flashlights onto firearms, to deal with enemies easier when in combat. Speaking of combat, the combat is your extremely basic survival horror stuff, just point and shoot. There's a small mechanic though you learn very early on that makes things interesting. The enemies are photosensitive, meaning they're sensitive to light. So you can use windows and sunlight to instantly kill lesser enemies. More on that in a second. You can also boost your flashlight to rid them of darkness to be able to deal more damage, being able to kill them faster. Now, I'm sure you noticed that this game mainly takes place at night, which brings me to my biggest issue here. Why teach me to use this mechanic if you're gonna let time pass and take away that mechanic? Literally taking away a crucial tool from the early game to force you to using the flashlight boost, which sucks by the way to deal with enemies. Just fuck dude, it's so stupid. Now each character has a special ability, such as Shannon being able to give hints to puzzles and what to do next, and being a better healer than anyone else. Josh being able to say whether there's something to do in any room you're in, or most importantly, Kenny can fucking run as fast as Josh can walk. but none of them are necessary to complete the game. But physical actions such as lockpicking, every character can do them, but say Stan is particularly faster at doing it. Lastly, we come to the difficulty. As usual, you got easy, medium, and hard, but there is one thing that doesn't change across all difficulties. If any of the characters die during the adventure, they are dead. That's right, unless you're a safe scumming loser, like myself, each of the playable characters can die permanently. That's right, you're forced into a permadeath run no matter what difficulty you're on when you play this game. Having played this game on normal myself, it is pretty damn hard and not in a fun way. We got tiny rooms or hallways filled with either large enemies or a group of smaller enemies that are faster than you, enemies that can and will knock you on your ass and stun lock you, but we do have fun puzzles. But even then, there isn't many of them to be worthwhile. The sequel does fix that somewhat. Either way, the difficulty on this game is just like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, and frankly, it drives me fucking nuts. Man, oh man, normally I see two reactions to ObsCure. That it's either an underrated game, or it's a complete shitstorm. While the game isn't good, it isn't necessarily bad either. Now, I'm sure my opinion is also slightly skewed by the fact that I played this entirely co-op with my buddy Nardo, but ObsCure overall is a pretty decent game. The story is fun, the gameplay is simple and easy to pick up, but what kills it is the difficulty, short as hell runtime, and obviously removing one of the coolest mechanics I've seen at the time so early into the game. So, do I recommend this game? Yeah, I give it a playthrough, but only if you can find someone crazy enough to join you like I did. Overall, I give ObsCure a 3.5 out of 5, just a quick little jaunt throughout the hellish halls of Leafmore High. With that out of the way, it looks like I'll have to tackle the sequel sometime soon and give it a look under the microscope. So stay tuned for that, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please do all the fun stuff YouTube forces me to tell you to do, and remember, shut up, get happy, and I'll see you all next time.